5 outdated fashion rules that you can start breaking today. Now in general, it's a pretty good idea to follow these rules, but there are also situations where you can break them. Let's take a look. The first rule is that the socks should always match the pants and not the shoes. Generally speaking, with many of the more classical options, if you have gray trousers or navy trousers, for example, in that situation, it's usually best to follow this rule. But there are some cases where the pants are either in a very light color or they are in a color that's a little bit more unique, and you might not be able to find socks that fit this color. And especially with off-white trousers or cream trousers, I think it's generally nicer if you match the socks with the shoes. So if you, for example, wear dark brown loafers, then I think it usually looks better if you also go for dark brown socks. And the same would be true if you wear something more colorful, maybe like a light green, or if you go for pink trousers as well. Finding socks in that color can be a little bit tricky, and I think in that case it's better to either match the socks with the shoes or with any other item that you wear on your upper body. So you could also match the socks with the sweater, or you could match it with a tie or pocket square. Even when you go for the more traditional outfits, when you wear, for example, a charcoal suit and you have a burgundy tie, then you can also take the same color and you can wear burgundy socks. And this is a great way to add a bit of personality to your outfits without sticking to the old rule. The next rule is that you should always wear a belt. And this is something that I see very commonly on Instagram, for example, even in pictures where the guy is wearing trousers with side adjusters and he doesn't even have belt loops. And I personally think that even with belt loops, you don't always have to wear a belt. In many cases it can be nice, but there's also a lot of instances where it actually takes away from the outfit. So let me show you a couple of examples. In my opinion, for example, in this case right here, even though the belt and the shoes are similar in color, so they're somewhat matching, I still think that this outfit would look better without a belt, because it somehow draws so much attention to the belt because you have very light colored trousers and the shirt is also a little bit more muted. So putting something a bit more contrasty in the middle, like the belt over here, I think it kind of draws the eye too much to that area. In this case, I think it would be better without a belt. Here in this case, again, I would say that it's probably better to skip the belt. Of course, this is just my opinion, but I think the outfit would look better without the belt. And I think this is another example where wearing a belt or not wearing a belt doesn't really add that much to the outfit, because I think this outfit would work whether you wear a belt or you don't. And here's a good example where I think the outfit is actually better off without the belt. If you would match the belt to the leather, then you would have this strong brown color over here. It can be nice, but I think in this case, again, because everything is so muted, it actually draws a little bit too much attention to that area. Another example would be this one, because I think it would look better without the belt actually. Like I said, the attention is directly on the belt because it cuts the different colors in half. And at least in my opinion, I don't think it's the most flattering option. But there are also cases, even with light outfits, where it actually works really well. For example, with this outfit here from Suitsupply, because it's a very thin belt and it's also quite hidden under the jacket, I think it actually works really nice to add a little bit of an accent over there. But if it would be a bit more shiny or a little bit bigger and it would be more visible, then I think it would actually detract from your outfit. And I think this is another example. You don't really see whether the pants have side adjusters or not, but in this case it looks great with a belt or without a belt, even if the pants had belt loops or not. So I think in general, in many cases, it is a great idea to wear belts, but oftentimes also it can draw the attention away quite a bit, especially if the belt has a very strong color or if it's a completely different color than your shoes as well. In that situation, it's usually better to skip the belt. The next rule is that brown and black should never be matched. And I do agree that many times it doesn't look very flattering, especially if you wear a black outfit and then you wear medium brown shoes, then it usually kind of ruins the look. But let's look at a couple of outfits where it actually looks nice and a couple of outfits where it doesn't look as nice, just so you get a good idea. For example, in this case, it's a brown suit with a black shirt. I think this combination works pretty well, to be honest. But do you think this looks good or not? Let me know in the comments below. Another example where the color combination works quite well together is this one. I think it's a black shirt as well. Sometimes with the photos it's a bit tricky to see, but it looks like he's wearing a black shirt and white trousers and a brown jacket on top. And I think in many cases, if you wear a black t-shirt under a brown jacket, it can actually look quite nice, especially if the leather is a little bit darker, because if it's a very light leather, then it can look a little bit intense. For example, this outfit here by Tom Holland, I think we can probably all agree that this is not the best look in general. The pants are black, the shoes are black, and then the jacket on top doesn't really match at all in terms of the color. If this would be a very dark jacket, then it might work, but in this color combination with the very dark pants, I don't think it's the most flattering look. And the same is true in this case. Apart from the ripped jeans and everything, if we just look at the color combination, I think if you're wearing a completely black outfit and then you throw on a medium or light brown jacket, in general, I don't think it's the most flattering look. But there's a good example over here where the guy is wearing an entirely black outfit as well, but then he's putting on a very subtle suede jacket in a very dark brown on top. And in this case, I think it works quite nice and it's not too intense. But if it would be a medium brown jacket like this, then in my opinion, it would not be the best look. So it really depends on how you combine it. But in general, I think we can say that many times it's better if the brown is a little bit darker. And if you wear, for example, a completely black outfit with light brown or medium brown shoes or a medium brown jacket, it generally doesn't look that nice. The next rule is something that triggers a lot of people, especially from the older generation, and that's the no sock look. And I have to agree that it's not always the best look. And I also want to stress that I'm talking about the no sock look. I'm not talking about going sockless into your shoes. I would always recommend you to at least wear some no-show socks, because if you go completely sockless, it's not a good idea for your shoes. And in my opinion, this look can be quite nice if, for one, the pants are not too short. And on top of that, you're also wearing a variation of loafers. If you wear any type of formal shoe, so let's say Oxfords or Derbies, even with monk straps, I'm kind of on the fence, then in my opinion, it doesn't look that nice. I think any shoe that needs to be tied should always be worn with socks. And the same could be said in my opinion about very formal suits. But let's take a look at a couple of examples. I think with a summer outfit like this, it can actually be very nice. Even though you see the ankles, and I know that a lot of people say you should never see a man's ankles, I think it's a really good look. And especially in summertime, I don't always want to wear socks. So if I go for a semi-casual look with some loafers, I usually go with the no-show socks as well. Now, one case that I agree with is that in most cases, if you're wearing a suit, then that's usually not the best occasion, in my opinion at least, to go with the sockless look, because it just breaks the formality quite a bit. I mean, he's wearing a double-breasted suit in gray, and then he's wearing no-show socks. I mean, from the background, you can see he's probably in Southern Europe, so it's probably also quite warm in summertime. But still, I think with a formal suit, it's probably best to go with socks as well. A good example is also this photo, because this guy is wearing a smart casual outfit, and in this case, I think it works quite well. But over here, this guy is wearing a full suit, and he's wearing sneakers, and he's going sockless as well. For me, I don't think that's the best option, especially with a double-breasted suit as well, because it's quite formal in my opinion. But again, I think something like this is actually quite nice without socks. I think it's totally fine. And especially, like I said, if the pants are not too high, in this case, they just touch the top of the penny loafers, I think it's a pretty safe look. But in this case here, the guy is wearing monk strap shoes and the pants are pretty high as well. And he's going sockless. It's something that I personally would not do, and I don't think it's the most flattering look. But I would like to know how you feel about the no sock look. Please let me know in the comments below. And the last outdated fashion rule is quite common in the menswear community, because a lot of guys believe that no man should ever wear shorts. And many people always quote The Sopranos, where they said that a Don doesn't wear shorts. But in my opinion, even though I agree that everybody will always look better in a pair of long trousers, there's a time and place to wear shorts as well. Because in summertime, if it's really hot and humid, for example in Bangkok weather, and I know that I'm going to be outside and walking quite a bit, then I generally don't go for long trousers. And I think that if you wear the right pair of shorts, it can actually be quite nice, especially if they're above the knee and they're not too wide or too slim and they don't have any crazy patterns on them. I think this is a very clean look from Pini Parma, and the same could be said about this one. It's a very clean and safe look, and I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with it. But one thing that I would say maybe I would create this rule is that I don't think that men, when they're wearing shorts, should wear a suit jacket. For example, if we look at this case, I don't think wearing a suit jacket with shorts, especially a double-breasted sport coat, I don't think that's usually the best option. And the same is true here from the Ralph Lauren fashion show. Even though the shorts are very nice and it's a very nice jacket and a sweater as well, I don't fully agree with the look. But of course, in the end, it's just my opinion. Those were the 5 outdated fashion rules. I want to know what you guys think about them. Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and see you next time.